didn't realize it at the time, but change is likely why you joined this industry. It's what you came here for. Maybe something with your skincare, your gut health, something drove you here. For me, 12 years ago, I had a failing marriage, the college 30 that I wanted to lose, and a job that after all that work in college I didn't like. And I knew I needed to make some change. I wanted to make some change. And I had no idea that that change would come in the form of saying yes to my first business. It started with helping others while helping me meal prep and get healthy. This turned into joining CrossFit, where my husband and I started doing something together, started working on our marriage, and the rest is kind of history. Change is what we so desperately needed in our lives, and it's what I love about this industry still today. The chance to chase our wildest dreams and goals and create the most amazing outcomes, aka change in our lives. And I find it so interesting that no matter how long we've been in the business, we want to run from change. And I know every single one of you here right now knows what I'm talking about. So, example, you get your first sales, you start growing your team, you create a leadership development system, you have this perfect event you host every year at the same time of the year. Whatever it is, it starts to work. And then suddenly the same thing you've been doing doesn't work anymore. The newest team member isn't having success, your results start to slow, social media changes the algorithm, no teammates can make the events that you've been doing 5 years in a row, less people are winning, sales are not rolling in, and things start to change. And if you're like me, our feathers feel fluffed. Our brains start to tell us we're stuck. Our experience wants to tell us that this same way works. So I know that we just have to keep doing it. We have to power through. I know many of you are probably thinking right now, like, yeah, that feeling of, ugh. Instead of looking for what's going to work next, finding the next solution, trying new things, playing around until we crack the code, it's almost like we're programmed to run from change, to throw our hands up in the air, to get defensive, and to feel the need to say the infamous lines, this isn't worth it anymore, or my personal favorite, this isn't what I signed up for. And I get it, but you actually did sign up for this as an entrepreneur. You came here to make a change in your life. So again, maybe it started with a product, like it did for me years ago with that first food company. NuSkin has helped change your skin, your confidence, your body, whatever it is. And then likely it started changing your bank account, things for your household, your family, your kids. The change starts to morph into more than just you. It starts to become how we can change other people's lives through this opportunity. Am I right? And so again, things start clicking, things start working, and we're like, we're doing this. I'm all in. And then it gets hard, and we're left caught off guard or surprised that those systems, or that new product launch, or that season didn't last forever. So if you're honest with yourself, and I'm going to ask you to do that today, I want you to ask yourself, do most good things last forever? Things, in fact, are not meant to stay the same forever. In fact, my definition, the exact definition of an entrepreneur, is to grow something in the most adverse time. To find ways to be creative, change when the market needs you to change, and match the consumer's way. I bet many of you, especially right now in this season in 2025, can relate to this, and probably are feeling a lot of these feelings. So I'm going to share with you here the last 10 months of my life, and actually the last 2 years. And let me tell you, as somebody standing on stage with 12 plus years experience in this channel, in this industry, many of the changes I've gone through have not been my choice. I get it. You might be thinking, well, it's easy for the newbie at NuSkin to say embrace change. But in 2023, almost 10 years into my business, I found myself in a company that I knew was struggling. And I knew the only chance we had of saving that company, mostly the product line that I literally loved and still do today, was to be the change. Even when no one else around me was ready for that change. I wanted to stick my head in the sand or run to a pop-up company like everybody else was doing, if I'm honest. But I knew the Lord had planted me where I was for a reason, and I knew that I owed it to my team, the thousands of people trusting in me and looking to me for guidance. So I dug my heels in. And I truly thought back to when I had joined that first food company in 2014. What my energy was then, what my excitement work ethic was then. I started working for the first time in a while on my own product story again, my own health journey. Anyone else feel this after COVID? I spent a lot of time during that season watching Tiger King on the couch with a bowl of queso. So in this next season, I gave myself a bedtime again, focused on my health so I could be my best, and really started showing up better. I started really focusing on my mindset and truly digging into positive affirmations and focusing on who I surrounded myself with. I got coaching, and I'm talking real coaching, not just watching influencers or people claiming to know how to build a business right now, but from people doing it in the trenches, leading their teams that were willing to mentor me and help me, guide me out of the dark place into the light again. The biggest one, I started tracking my IPAs. And I started coming up with new ideas that I felt like were worth a shot, even if nobody else saw the value in them yet. Most of all, I took messy action. I took risks. I went all in. I changed a 10-year running Christmas sale tradition that we had done for years, the same way, something my team and my customers look forward to every single year, and just decided to take a chance, try something new. I knew not everybody was going to love it, I knew not everybody was going to be on board, but it actually turned out to be one of the best nights of my career. Not all the awards I have won, all the countless trips I have earned, the income, the lake house I've built, all the things. It was honestly running our holiday extravaganza 2024, less than a year ago, and the wild success that my team produced in that month and the fun that we had again. I started taking a chance on myself. And then, unfortunately, 3 weeks into January of this year, about 18 months into this voyage of change, I was leaving my leaders a message that morning, and it literally said, "We are having the best month we have had since 2020. We are beating any record we've ever set, and it doesn't matter what everybody else around us is doing, we're crushing it. And I'm so proud of you." And 12 seconds later, I got the notice that our company was bankrupt. And there was no January paycheck coming for all the weeks I had just worked. There was no business to turn back to. Nobody was coming to save me. And I definitely thought about throwing in the towel. I wanted to. I interviewed at a few 9-to-5s and I had a really great job lined up. But again, I truly felt the Lord calling me and saying my work was not done. And so, insert NuSkin. I did not ask my team to come here. I didn't ask their opinion of where we should go. I did not stress about the details or the rebuild or all the friends that I felt like I was leaving, losing. I picked a company I felt strong about. And that would be an entirely separate presentation that they did not give me enough time for today. But I compared compensation, market availability, longevity, investing in the future, the science, the culture, you name it. And once I made my choice after narrowing it down from 5 companies, down to 2, and then down to NuSkin, I invited anyone that was open to change to come check it out with me. And honestly, you guys, I feel incredible. Look at my skin, but also I just feel the best I have felt in years. Have I had hard days? Absolutely. Have I wanted to quit 27 times at least? 100%. And thank you to the people in this room who have already given me their time and talents and pulled me up on those days and reminded me that my title or my worth is not in my title, but in my leadership and my willingness in this season to not give up.